Okay, no. If I don't reply to you, I didn't hear you. So, moving
Yes, but those who are silent are known to acquiesce.
on. By your silence, I take it that you agree. One of the darkest lines. All right. Well, hello everyone. I'm Norman Rafferty from an undisclosed location, and today we're doing more of Urban Jungle Astounding Science. So I'm joined today by several people who I'll be referring to by whatever order they. I have no idea where Roll20 chooses the order that it does. So let's go ahead and start with Griffin because you're first.
Hey there, I'm Griffin. I'm playing Commander Boris Blaskowitz, the fastest Arketeer beyond Mars. He's pilot and first mate of the Problem Child, and he is a bear, daredevil, star child with a carefree personality. His motto is "Let nobody hold you back." Our goal right now is to deal with the total conversion weapon, and I have gone ahead and sold back the gift from last time, Local Knowledge of Jupiter, so that I can increase my body up to a D10.
Yeah, went to Jupiter, worked out, got swole.
Yeah, all that heavy lifting on Jupiter I did, carrying the
Speaking
team.
Now, speaking of swole, Theta, tell us about your character.
I am Dr. Corvus Quasar, mechanical Martian crackpot. My personality is hubristic. My motto is Eureka! Same goal. I just also have the flaw of being emotionless.
Okay, and you didn't sell anything back?
I probably did. Sorry, I've got that listed lower down on the sheet, so I don't really look.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
mean,
know if
I've
you were-
also got that same thing sold back, yeah.
I think you bought Alien Soap, isn't that right?
I bought that last time. I don't have
Okay.
enough experience to buy anything this time. I just sold it back
Okay,
apropos of nothing.
but that's the new thing. You got even weirder.
I've been weird.
It's, well,
I
speaking
have
of
no strong
normal,
feelings about it.
we've got Arkaloid. Tell us about your character.
Yes, I'm Arkloid. I play Ralph Summers, the egghead raccoon safecracker with the high-strung personality, and his got the same goals. His motto is, "When the door closes, break a window."
Gotta love that.
And I sold back the Jupiter Station knowledge, but I have yet to buy anything new because I only got 7 XP.
Okay. And let's not forget our hero from Out of Time. Hugo, tell us about your character.
Hi, yes, my name is John Lancer. I play a cat out of time named John Lancer. And yeah, I'm basically Buck Rogers, Captain America, frozen in time, woken up to a strange new land. And the only thing I know is how to fly planes and shoot my gun.
Which you're pretty good at. And now, having returned, tanned, rested, and ready, Piat, tell us about your character. You might want to turn your microphone on.
We can't hear you, sir.
Can't hear you. Your microphone's totally dead.
Push the talk button? Is that it?
Hey, no.
He's looking for it.
Could have sworn we heard him talk earlier. I guess we didn't.
He's looking for the button.
Yeah, he's gone.
Now he's just gone. Well, I also have the same problem where sometimes I'll log into the call and Discord has decided to do something completely unrelated.
That's usually when you have updated or something, though.
It's weird because he's green. You guys can see that he's green, right?
I don't even
That
see
could
him
just be
anymore.
that he's hitting the his push to talk button. Doesn't mean that he's
okay.
actually releasing any.
I had an ongoing problem with Discord and my Bluetooth headset.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear. We can
Yes.
hear you. We can't
there
see
we go.
you now.
Excellent. Somehow
Yes.
it had deselected my my microphone, even though I'd been talking before.
You
It
still
does
need
that
to
to me.
rejoin the video call, though.
Yeah, it does that to me too.
But yeah, I had an ongoing issue with my Bluetooth headset. Hence why I have this little fancy one.
Okay, can you
So-
hear me and see me?
Yes.
Now Piat is with us. Piat, why don't you speak and show us about your character?
Speak and show. Okay, show and tell. So I am Captain Rondo Proteus. I am a middle-aged mouse bureaucrat, a by-the-book fish out of water in a world he never created. I did not sell back my Jupiter knowledge because I was not here last week and did
Yeah.
not acquire Jovian knowledges.
You were part of the group goal, so we'll assume that when everyone gets back, they tell you how about great Jupiter is.
Awesome. So I have a local gift knowledge of Jupiter.
Right. What you
Awesome,
don't
thank you.
get is you didn't tell us your motto, so you don't get that experience points because you didn't live up to that. So you only get the goal, but you don't get the other experience points. Sorry.
Right on.
You weren't here to debrief and tell me how great the game was. I mean, you
Oh,
did
I'm
tell me how
sorry.
great the game was, just not during the game, so it doesn't count.
I will debrief you thoroughly at our next convention meeting.
All right. Yes, conventions, fond memories of such. Okay, so yeah. So when we last left our brave heroes, you'd gotten into, you discovered a lead that you thought there might be piracy activity from beyond the asteroid belt. Now, currently, the League of Worlds doesn't really patrol beyond the asteroid belt because that's so far out there and so commercially, unviable at the moment. Not to mention, it's difficult to reach. That has been an issue. But you folks raided some space pirates, fueled up, and found a secret pirate base on Ganymede, one of the moons of Jupiter. And while you were there, you had a violent altercation. Once again, Ralph Summers, do they call it getting your space legs? You still haven't gotten your space legs, have you?
If you mean Astro Soak, no.
No. That was funny when there was a violent airlock blowout, which you could avoid with Astro Soak, but you don't have that.
Yes, and it was all my fault too.
So but you subdued the pirates, I think with great prejudice. Didn't you wind up shooting all of them?
It was a general shootout, mayhem.
We
Captain would
crushed
not
one
have been.
under a beam.
Captain would not have been happy with our liberal use of force.
Yeah, you threw the drill bit on top of them and it crushed
Yeah.
it.
We crushed a
Captain
guy.
Proteus will
We
be
crushed a
glad
guy,
to know
Captain.
that we
Captain,
didn't blow up the entire moon.
we crushed a
Oh,
guy,
okay.
Captain. We crushed him
Yep.
with a drill.
Yep.
I mean, in
You
our
killed the
defense,
right form
acting
for that.
Captain Blaskowitz takes full responsibility for that.
But after
I
getting
take
all
full
this
responsibility for all the awesomeness.
Don't worry, Captain. We read him their rights.
After you got all this information, you decided to return back because you had some captives. Because ironically, you have captives left over from the space battle. You don't have any captives left over from the moon battle. But you have successfully rescued Dr. Huzzlesoft, who told you that she had been forced under duress to work for these strange pirates, especially their leader, who has the unusual name of Captain Zachlon.
The dastardly Captain Zachlon.
A mysterious wolf whose name is a person of interest, and apparently he's the mastermind behind this entire strange operation. Dr. Hasselstoff told you that they think the operation where they might actually be working is not here on Ganymede. That's just a waypoint for someplace even farther away, which I may have mentioned, but can't remember if I told you that or not.
You did. It was off towards Saturn, I believe.
It's Saturn, the mysterious ringed planet.
That's why we're so concerned about destroying the fuel station on Ganymede.
Right.
That we might not be able to get refueled to head out there.
We
And I
did
believe
refuel on our way out.
No, I'm just saying
Right.
on the way back or on the way there.
Right.
It's a
You did
concern.
not destroy the station. I believe that
Just the fuel depot. Just the
We
fuel
just
depot.
dropped it.
you thought about destroying it if you had to, but since you subdued everyone and conquered the station itself.
Although you did say that there were space patrol stations in the asteroid belt.
Well, the Space Patrol patrols the asteroid belt because there's a problem with the miners trying to mine it, where not only is there a problem with space pirates coming by to steal your claim, but also there apparently is a hostile life form that lives in the asteroid belt that apparently is made of asteroids.
That's just a rumor.
So in theory, we don't need. I mean, like if we have to go back out to Saturn, we can go to a space patrol station, refuel, and then continue.
No, you would have to go to Ganymede Station because they don't have like
Space Patrol doesn't operate like refueling carriers.
Yeah, there's no in space flight refueling, or is that the wrong genre?
There is, but if you want to get
Space tanker.
but you don't have it, you have enough fuel to get to Jupiter. You don't have enough fuel to get to Saturn. You'd have to go to Jupiter, refuel, and then go to Saturn.
Well, we could freeze everybody and then just
Somebody-
coast to Saturn. And
As
I'll
much
wait.
as
I have
suspended
experience in
animation-
that.
Yep. As much as John Lancer is the testament to the working ability of suspended animation, you might run into a problem that you might get there too late.
Right, time is of the essence, hence why having more fuel is good. We could get anywhere on a small amount of fuel, it would just take forever.
Yes.
Delta V is
Why?
primarily course correction
That's why I like to talk about
and
that's
slowing down.
Wrong genre.
it's always the thing that fascinates me about this kind of dogfighting / Star Wars type inspired combat that people ask for, when it's like, you guys know there's no like top speed in space, right? I
know.
mean, you know that real space combat.
No,
will-
dogfighter
will-
turn.
I will
Yeah.
quote Rick Sanchez when he says, "What about the reality where Hitler cured cancer?" The answer is don't think about it.
Well,
I mean, I was just
If you're
watching
not-
the Expanse space battles earlier, and they're saying, okay, they fire the missiles, now we wait 6 hours.
Yeah.
well, I'm going to reply to that by if you're not thinking about it, then you can't ask me questions about it. Because asking questions about it.
No, I mean the short note answer is we transpose another analogy. Like space is not like flying an airplane, but we're flying it like an airplane.
Well,
People
yeah,
don't
will
get
back
that
me
up.
up on this. Space actually isn't a vacuum filled with luminiferous either,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we
No,
either-
but in terms of the laws of physics, without gravity, most of what we consider flying is pointless. So
Well, you are
that
being
is
acted
really-
upon gravity, just
Hey,
like
I've seen
it's
Starship
very slight
Troopers.
gravity.
There's gravity in space.
As the
Right.
New York Times pointed out in 1920 in an editorial, rockets can't work in space if it's a vacuum because there's nothing to push against. Therefore, space is full of air. That's why we can hear the explosions too.
There you go. I like that answer.
Logic is impeccable.
I want to meet that
yeah.
investigative reporter.
I mean,
Very
it's like Star
attenuated there.
Wars. It's like Star Wars. Everyone always makes arguments about like how space combat in Star Wars is ridiculous. I'm like, of course it's ridiculous. It's a World War II analogy, and
Right.
no one get, and
So,
most people,
Star Wars, in fact, owes a lot to the sources that we're pulling from.
yeah. So
Because Star Wars is literally pulp inspired. Because you go watch these old pulps, they also opened with the crawl.
Yeah. exactly.
And
So
speaking of the crawl, while you guys were out risking your lives, Captain Proteus had gone ahead and gone to the archives because that's what he is, a nerdy librarian.
Where to the archive? Where did I go to the archives? On Jupiter or on Earth?
Well, I assume that when they left, you stayed on Earth. Because, in
Sure.
fact, I believe all of you are on the Earth. Are you on the Earth map or?
no, we're on
We
the
are
Mars
looking at
map.
the Earth map for lack of anything else.
I don't think this
I
is
thought you were-
Mars.
No, that's the monument to the wars on Mars.
Yeah, I say I wouldn't have this on Mars. The Martians wouldn't let
Yeah.
you build this.
This is the New Jersey metropolis on Earth.
Okay.
And I believe that that part of your multi-pronged escapade was to find more information about the Dr. Hasselstoff's notes. When you found them, described what she said you would need as the components to build a total conversion engine. And I believe that Captain Proteus had volunteered to go ahead and not only file paperwork for the other arrests you already made, but to do some research to see if they could find he could find some more information about this.
That
That's what
totally
we're
sounds like
assuming
something I do.
He
Yeah.
was doing while the rest of you were off flying
That's right.
to Jupiter to get even stupid. So I would like our intrepid captain to go ahead and make a research roll, which of course is mind and academics plus anything else he has that helps him do things in academic research. Like, say, the gift of research. Okay. Hello?
I think we lost him. Houston, we have a problem.
Did we
I
lose
thought he
Piat?
was just really focused. I didn't
Yeah.
realize.
I thought maybe he was just really
He's
paying
out of
attention. But no, he's out of sync.
Oh dear.
As
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
Look
not
at the
having,
Matrix.
I'm not having good luck today, am I?
But to be fair, it's not you.
Welcome to Dead Air Central, folks.
The editing on this one's going to be great.
Well, while we're waiting for this to return, so I think your next preparation, well, so you bring the space pirates back and charge them with space piracy,
Yeah.
and they'll be arrested and tried for that. They don't have much more useful information than the information they already gave you, mostly because whatever this operation is that Zaklan is fostering, he's making sure he only tells people stuff they need to know. Dr.
Mhm.
Hasselstoff, being a smart professor type, has told you some of the things that she speculates. That she says, like, I'm not building all of the parts here. I'm sure they have another operation deeper in space, somewhere around Saturn, to do it. And also, she says that I can't stress enough that whoever successfully builds the first total conversion engine, whether it's us, these pirates, or the Empire of Counter Earth, they would effectively have like weapons of unlimited power and ships of unlimited endurance.
Diabolical.
So
Well, all the better we try to stop them sooner than later.
well, that's why she said I tried to submit the report, but no one was believing me. Now, I'm glad that you're taking me seriously. So, what is your next plan while we wait for the captain to get back?
Well, we already are aware of a couple of more scientists that may or may not be involved, or at least might have been prodded by these pirates to work on the total conversion engine, because
Yeah.
they need a variety of disparate parts, and Ozlotov was already assembling most of these. As of right now, it doesn't seem like they would have started their total conversion also on Saturn at the same time, while having Hazelstoff work on a second one at Jupiter on Ganymede. That would seem a little silly. So they're going to be behind, and if we can keep siphoning off their progress, we just buy ourselves more and more time because they have
So
to
you-
keep starting from the beginning.
So you could, and your goal, of course, is to catch them. So you they have a base somewhere in some operation in Saturn.
Mhm.
Did I give you the names of the other scientists? Because I'm not very good.
I think you did last time. I don't have them written down.
No, I don't.
unfortunately.
I wrote everything down from the last session, and you didn't reference any other scientists.
You did mention, however, that one was on the moon, and I think the other one was at Venus.
Yes, that I think I did mention. I'm trying to remember if I was going to make Piat roll for that. Are you back with us, Piat?
I hope so. Somebody decided to run the
Yeah,
microwave.
there you go.
and look at my
Yay!
Wi-Fi.
Yay! We did it.
So I was rolling
Microphone.
academics in mind, and I have the
Uh,
gift of research. Does that give me a bonus D12?
Yes, it does. It gives you a bonus D12. That's why
Right
we
on.
sent you to the library.
Excellent. I'll roll that now.
All right,
That'll be it.
excellent.
We were
So,
just
'cause
talking
there-
about how there's a couple more scientists out there for us to find.
2 successes.
Looking good.
Why do people always call me during the? Sorry, buddies. I gotta figure out turn off this ringer. There we go. And also, Pia, I'd like you to roll a bonus D12 because your crew came back to go ahead and tell you stuff. I'm also looking at 1-1 that you've rolled. What is your favorite use of academics?
I think that one that
It
you
would
rolled is
be-
just another D8.
It was just another D8. Yeah, I was attempting to roll twice. So I rolled a 2D8 and a D12, and I got an 8 and a 5. Like, the 2D8 was an 8, the D12 was a 5, for a total of 13.
Okay, well then
I forgot to
and
break
then
up the
I'll-
dice, yeah.
go ahead and roll another bonus D12 because your crew members come back with advice.
I just did got a 3.
Oh, okay. Well, you're What's your favorite use of academic?
Oh, I
And
think you
ask that
rolled
question.
3d8s. I don't think you rolled a d12 on the first
I'm
go
going
through.
to stop you right there. I got a simple question. Yeah, what's your character's favorite use for academics?
That would be research, bureaucratic research specifically.
Then I'd like you to roll another d12. Just
If
roll
so
a
it shall
d12.
be.
I don't care you rolled a d8 and a 1 came up. I'm going to let that go.
Right on.
Roll another d12. Make me happy. Okay. There we go. That was exciting. Okay. So, so doing some of your research on some of the information that you already know. Okay.
Hooray.
In order for the reaction to happen to be able to convert matter directly into energy, that's a little difficult, but the more difficult part is keeping it from melting your face. Because E equals mc squared, you don't want this to blow up in your face. So you need to get a null energy crucible chamber. The leaders of research on that are on the planet Venus. Venus, as you know, is a planet that's completely covered in toxic water. It is the planet where the Venusians live, an alien race of bizarre bird-like people who have trouble breathing our air, but breathe their air just fine. Venus, because it has a lot of bizarre gases and other things underneath the water, is being exploited by Earth industry. And many of the things that are available on Venus are noble gases, which are important to create these chambers of null energy. That's why you think the scientist you want to talk to might actually be based on the planet Venus. The most likely candidate is a Dr. Lawrence Boyer. He works for a company, and this is going to make Piat laugh, known as Intravenous, a company that has been granted a charter to go ahead and work with Venusians to export stuff. He is the leading authority on niton gas, an important component in these sorts of things. The production of niton gas is highly scrutinized by the League of Worlds and the Space Patrol because it's one of the more important elements in high energy production, and most notably, the Tellurians don't have a good source for it. If the Tellurians could, they would take Venus because that is important in the production of, high energy, directed high energy weapons. Let's just say that. So that's why you guys keep tabs on that. Lawrence Boyer is one of the leading authorities on null energy production. But you've got 2 successes, so you can get some more information. Meanwhile, on the moon, of course, is a very expensive, bizarre military base and has a lot of stuff going on there, all sorts of stuff from Earth because, the moon's not very far. There's one other name that shows up. Well, there's an important name that shows up in the records, Dr. Forrester Rickman, who is a scientist who works mostly in Martian metals and manufacturing. That's a name that's come up before. And they, of course, have a base of operations on the moon. Rickman has been arrested multiple times for gambling, which is illegal on the moon, but people keep doing it because right. And so he's not only is he a leading scientist on analytical engines, which are very important on the moon because they have to monitor a lot of moon traffic as well as other sorts of traffic and telecommunications, that sort of thing. Not only is he leading in analytical engines, but he's also been identified as a security risk because of his crippling gambling addiction. You started to think that, wait a minute, if I were a bunch of space pirates who wanted to build an analytical engine that could oversee the operation of the conversion of matter to energy, This man has all the skill sets necessary to possibly build one and might even be a security risk. And even if he's not the kind of person who might be doing it, he might know someone who is. And he works on the moon in space traffic control. So these are 2 points of interest. The third point of interest also comes up. Piat, is your microphone still alive?
I hope it is. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
The third is when you are interrupted in your office while you're sitting there with all of the journals out and you're sitting there taking notes in your little tiny little moleskin notebook, sitting there making notes to yourself about, and if this journal is ever discovered, I hope that people will avenge me. When someone appears in your office, a very mysterious fox gentleman that you've never seen before, and Captain Proteus, I presume.
You presume and assume correctly, sir. What can I do for you?
It's what I can do for you.
All right. What can you do for me, sir?
Have you ever considered your future?
Well, yes, I have my retirement savings plans are sorted out, and my investments in Venus water and Jupiter mining. Are you here to sell me insurance, though?
No, I'm here to offer you something more than just money and material things and just a plain existence. I'm here to offer you a place in history.
What do you mean? Speak plainly.
We both know that this petty little shuffle here of papers and legality is doomed. It's all irrational and based on self-interest. Only a greater collective, everyone's wants and desires are truly realized and fulfilled, would be the future utopian state.
I disagree, sir. I think paperwork is the bond that keeps society together, striving for that ideal future. You sound like one of those. You sound familiar, I should say.
Of course, I must sound like the voice that's in the back of your head, the voice of reason telling you that the true future is one where we individuals are nothing and the collective is all. I'm here to offer you true peace, true salvation.
I find true peace amongst these amongst the papers and the amongst the papers and the recordings and documentary evidence of the past. But what is your? Are you trying to influence me somehow?
Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. It's like, yeah, Captain Proteus's defense is I'm too boring to be corrupt.
I'm too square to be radicalized.
You know, you are an intelligent man, so I won't waste your time. You know that if someone discovers the existence of free, unlimited energy, it will disrupt your fragile balance. The tiny, stupid little minds of these greedy plebeians will erupt into a explosion of war, the likes of which you've never seen.
Which is why it's extremely important that. Wait a minute. How do you know about that? I'll say, and I'll lean forward and put my hand on my ray pistol at my side.
It's not what I know, it's what we know. Someone is getting close to this, the ultimate secret of the universe, the ultimate conversion of matter into unlimited energy. Whoever controls that secret controls the key to everything. And the ultimate control is, of course, the masters that await us all.
And who are they? I'll get out my notebook to write down their name.
It is, of course, you know it in your heart to be true, even though you fight against it. It is thermionic brain, the ultimate wisdom that will guide all of us into the shining future.
Dang it.
I can't write that down. I'll throw my notebook to the ground. Say, sir, you are under arrest. And I'm going to draw my pistol on him and place him under
On what charge? I've just come here to discuss with you possibility.
sedition. You have also knowledge of a secret investigation that's undergoing, and so I'm arresting you under suspicion of of obstruction of justice.
Espionage.
Suspicion of
Espionage.
obstruction.
I'm
Espionage.
here to
Espionage.
help you. Here to help you help yourself. You
You could help by telling us what we need to know.
the discovery of total conversion is inevitable. It can either be in the hands of your most hated and violent criminals, or it could be in our hands. I'm here to help you. You know that if these other vile and reprehensible elements discover this, they will use it to destroy you and everything you love. Only if we work together for the common good can we stop them.
Are you a representative of the thermionic brain?
If I said yes, you'd arrest me for sedition, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would, and I may arrest you anyway for, as I say, obstruction of justice or conspiracy.
I can see that you need some more time to consider. I will leave my card in case you need to contact us and need our resources. We're here to help you. And he's going to put a business card on the desk.
Okay. I'm going to take it and glare at him until he leaves. And then as he leaves, I'm going to call the library security.
The old man at the front door?
Yeah, the old man at the front door.
The most
What is it,
powerful
you know?
personification of the majesty of the law.
I'm going to call library security. And of
Sir,
course,
this
the
is a
answer
Denny's.
yeah, the answer has to be, how did you get this number?
I'm going to let him leave, but I'm going to follow him. I'm going to try and be really sneaky.
Okay.
Take all these new field skills I've learned and shadow him to see where he goes.
Following someone surreptitiously will be a roll of speed, observation, and evasion.
One moment. As it happens, I have a very good observation.
You do. You're pretty good at your job, which is captain, not private investigator, not field agent. Okay, so any other weird preparations that the rest of our crew want to take while we're waiting for that die roll to show up?
Weird preparations.
We got to figure out some way to make the problem child a long distance ship.
It looks like Dr. Corvus is making more mad inventions.
As Dr. Corvus will, of course. I think in terms of things we could actually do, though. Hey, Ralph, you're how do I put this politely? You're a nefarious criminal by trade.
Oh yeah, so polite. Do go on.
I tried, but you would know better than the rest of us the intricacies of, say, galactic pirates trying to blackmail someone through gambling debt.
Well, my specialty is more getting into places I shouldn't and stealing the valuables, but
True.
I do know some people.
Well,
Yeah,
if you can start pulling those strings while I try to make sure Captain Proteus didn't, get covered by books or something in a library, no one's found him for a month.
Yep, and I'm going to say one of my
I'd appreciate that.
I'm going to say something that I've been dying to say, which of course is the moon, of course, is a popular place for flags of convenience. So if you see a ship that's registered to the moon. Now, by the way, this conversation with Captain Proteus was happening when you guys were off on your little mission.
Right.
So, Piet, you have 2 successes. You would be able to follow whoever this guy is at a respectable distance, but eventually he gets into a cab and drives away from the library building. You could pursue him because you're alone and you're kind of surreptitious about it, but eventually he gets out of that cab, switches to another cab, and then to another waiting car. And he does it so fast that 2 successes is enough for you to keep up with him for some distance, but he's too good for you. He already has all of this planned out. He knows the city way too well, and eventually evades you.
Can we have a series of exciting, follow that cab montage scenes?
Yeah, well, we got to pad out 12 episodes of the serial somehow, so we do a lot of B-roll of you guys driving through the streets.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, cool. But I have his name in his business card. He is John Smith, and he is business.
He does business, and there's a phone number.
There we go. We've got him.
So armed with this information, you also go back to the records and look up John Smith. You don't find anything.
Nothing about anybody named John. Sorry.
Yeah. I did some research, and yes, Smith is the most common last name, even in the 30s. So,
really, you couldn't find anything on John Smith? What a shocker!
Now,
Really?
here's
I
the
thought
important
Joe
thing.
would be.
I do have a question, Captain Proteus. Do you report that you had contact with who you suspect is a Thermion agent, or do you keep this knowledge to yourself?
Obviously, I report it.
Okay, so you go ahead and file a report. You are successful because you were a bureaucrat. Later, you hear a report of your team returning, and your team comes back from Jupiter to tell you about all that big expedition. Plus, Dr. Quasar built another bomb.
Pretty much what I expected. They blew something up. They killed somebody with a drill. Dr. Quasar made a bomb. Yeah.
They didn't make a bomb. Oh, if I wasn't a machine, that would hurt. I didn't make a bomb.
You realize
why is the back of the ship more radioactive than usual?
Now,
listen, Captain, I just want to say I only killed criminals.
Just as a warning here, Dr. Quasar, if you make it unsafe, there's a chance that it blows up when you deploy it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I already have a plan for it. I am a crackpot. I've thought of these things ahead of time. Here's the thing, because Piat doesn't know what this is. I have made a space missile, and the idea here is that if I deploy it, I'll just open up the back of the ship, push it out, and then activate it at a distance.
That's insane. So it's a missile. Do we launch it? Oh, hell no.
No, we drop it off the back of the ship, then we launch it.
You know how you don't talk to people on a phone in a unsafe place? Let's just do that.
That would be a torpedo.
Torpedo. There you go. Torpedo. I like that. Torpedo.
Well, the first torpedoes were ones that they physically dropped in the water and then sent on their way. Later, they came up with the idea of launching them, mostly because they want to do it from a submarine and want to open the door. Yeah. So it looks like your team, since you have a career criminal, and the moon is close, they might want to go ahead and look for this Dr. Rickman. It's what they're suggesting. But Captain Proteus, you're the captain. What would you do?
Well, since it turns out that John Smith, believe it or not, turns out to be an alias, I think we should follow that lead. Although you said there was a phone number attached, right?
Yeah.
Does that I would have called that number?
It goes to an answering service.
All right, I will instruct whoever's on the other side of the answering machine to surrender to the authorities at once, and I'll be waiting for them, and I'll give my office address.
But this is the future, so they have special answering service set up that you record a message, and then someone can play it back later. You can have the number traced to the answering service that runs the recording machines, and they get upset that, I can't believe you rented one of our machines out to a criminal.
All right, well, I'll tell them to leave it there. Maintain that for the sake of the investigation, because we may have to reach John Smith, my nemesis.
Okay, and you've also filed a report about what you observed, so that's also in the system. So yeah, you write down the description. It was a man. He was dark. He leered at me funny. He was fox and all that kind of stuff. Okay, armed with that knowledge and saying, "Well, look out," are you going to continue to comb the millions of people in Jersey City looking for this person, or are you going to continue with your investigation on the total conversion? Oh, and Dr. Osselstoff's been rescued.
Yeah, no, I think we have to go with our the more pressing lead of the going after the conversion engine and
Okay.
figuring what the heck Dr. Hasselstoff knows.
Well, she says, I don't want to, I'm a pacifist, so I don't believe in violence. I also don't believe in using total conversion ray guns to destroy the world.
Well, that's good to know.
So I'd be happy to advise you, but I'd rather, I've had a very harrowing adventure. I've been trapped on an airless world for several days.
Did my crew interrogate Dr. Hasselstoff last session or figure out what had gone
Yes,
on?
they did. In fact, they have
Okay,
debriefed.
cool.
Not only
I
is she
actually have
debriefed
a
them,
report for you, Captain. Here you go.
and here's my
I
private
thought it was-
journals, says Dr. Hasselstoff, that they may help you in your investigation. You may call upon these for future assist bonuses.
Very well, I'll pour over them. But I think, yeah, whatever we should be following the active lead, which was the Doctor on the Moon, or no?
All right,
the
so you're
person
going
on
to go to the moon. So you pile aboard your spaceship and fly to the moon.
Woo!
If this has worked correctly, we are now on the moon.
We're on somewhere. I see a
Where's
desk.
the amusement park?
Yes, this is the moon. It's gray.
With grids. You need to turn the grids off.
In fact, I am
We're all
on-
good.
I mean, as seen through the viewport of our ship, apparently.
Well, let's see. How do you move something to a different layer?
Oh, you just right click on the image and there should be an
we
option
go.
called.
Okay, why are you not? Oh, I'm so sad. There was a label attached to that. Now that label is gone.
No.
Let me go back to that and see if I can get the label back. Okay, but now it's invisible. What's going on? Excuse me here. If I go too fast, I'll. What are you? There we go. Okay, so can you see? There should be a Luna City here visible.
Yep. There's a little tiny picture below the big picture.
There we go. So there's Luna City, the biggest city in all of the moon. It is on the bright side of the moon because, as you know, the moon is tidally locked.
Yeah, it's the best place to get helium-6.
Science.
Wrong genre.
Yeah.
It's the right genre, wrong year.
Being members of the Space Patrol, you are granted landing clearance and you easily follow the directions and land. Now that you're on Luna City, the Luna authorities are here. So you're greeted by a Space Patrol lieutenant by the name of Lieutenant Filray, a modest young jackal. Let's say, Captain Proteus, I was advised if you're coming. How can I help you in your investigation?
That's a good question. Pardon me while I confer with my compatriots.
Okay.
So, crew, you were the ones who were undertaking the crux of this investigation while I was, off busy chasing leads and doing due diligence. What do you think we should be doing here? As a leader, I trust your judgment. To some extent. I have to moderate that judgment, of course, but...
Well, we're here looking for our scientist, so he's either going to be somewhere at his place of work with the MCC, or he could be off gambling somewhere.
Gambling, says Lieutenant Filray. The scourge of our city. Everyone knows that gamblers are the most vile of reprobates, second only to safecrackers.
But if one were to want to go gambling, maybe where would one go? I'm asking for, of course, a friend, and I'll just pull in Dr. Proteus.
Well, I am
Proteus.
Well, I have been a forceful and effective administrator, and we have successfully banned all sorts of gambling establishments here on the above ground. But unfortunately, the moon is deep, it has many deep mines. And so there have been several less than reputable operations that go on in the deeper caves. Some of the abandoned mines have been pressurized and are used by criminals for storing or transporting their contraband. or interacting with pirates. I keep putting in paperwork to ask for more crew to be assigned to the job, and no one listens to me.
Would you be able to take us to one of these secret gambling dens?
I don't think walking in police force would be effective, Captain.
Are you suggesting that we fly under a false flag and act
Well,
as agile
course.
provocateurs?
I mean, I got some extra dollars from when I got back to Earth and got my paycheck. I gotta spend it somehow.
Yeah, and Lieutenant Fillory will say, "Well, I can't because they're secret. If I knew where they were, I would already send people in to bust them." I can happily tell you that, here, allow me to show you over here. So you landed. That there's a device next to me that has a map of the moon. It has little buttons on it that when you push them, different things light up because this is how we do things in the future.
It's sparkly.
So you can see here are the civilian areas. Here is our armory and a military complex. And here are the various mines that are currently active. What you can't see on the mine here are the inactive mines, which are in these no-go areas that would be somewhere over here.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't have an accurate map of which area has been sealed off or destroyed because, the moon's been in operation for over a dozen years. I mean, not only are there the legal mines, there's the illegal mines and the things that are zoned off. So that's all I can tell you. I would also love to be able to spare some manpower to help you. I can advise you in a certain case, but unfortunately, I've got this entire place to watch, and between the piracy and the Tellurian agents and the other incidents that are going on, I'm really short-staffed.
I guess in the meanwhile, the MCC operates here on the moon, right? I assume they dug out most of the mines.
Oh, the Martian metals? They're one of the greatest
MMC.
malefactors. They're constantly finding ways around our regulations, and sometimes I swear they're even bribing some of my less than reputable personnel. I shake my fist at them.
But they do have an office here. Could you maybe show us in that direction? I think there's
yeah.
someone there we do want to talk to.
Yeah, sure. It's not that far. And here, let me give all of you authorization passes to show that you're allowed to, that you're members. I mean, sure, you're members of Space Patrol, but here, this allows you to carry weapons and whatever it is that guy is carrying, says, pointing over.
Better not to ask questions about that. It's a long, that's all we need to know.
Just be careful because it's the moon and there's no natural air here.
Mm-hmm.
Very powerful radiogens that are emitting a lot of radiation may set off some safety alarms.
Just clarification, I'm not carrying that with me.
Okay.
That's like a missile that's in the ship. That's something I'm carrying around.
But you are carrying around a large pile of junk.
Yeah. I'm probably setting off all the, all the junkyards and hospitals and anything with a gate.
Right. Fillory warns you that, remember, there are safety devices everywhere that can easily be set off. Especially if even though you have access to the entire station, remember that there are hard hat areas that if you wander into them might be dangerous. They're clearly marked. Like if the door is locked and sealed and has a note on it that says no entry, whatever's on the other side of it is probably pretty dangerous.
Also, it's probably the most interesting thing.
To maybe you, Dr. Corvus.
Yeah, you and I define interesting as differently. But once again, I'm here to cooperate. You can always reach me by radio.
Very well, then. We'll keep in contact. So, Dr. Corvus, Captain Providius, what do you say we go talk to our scientist?
I say we should go talk to the scientist, yes. We'll go to the most obvious location first. If we can't find him there, then perhaps we should go investigating these gambling dens, possibly even while wearing some sort of plain clothing. I don't know.
Well, if the information you found is true, I'm sure he'd love to invite us around for a round of gambling.
Right on. Excellent. To the office.
To harass nerds.
Okay, so you go to the Martian Metals, and you immediately make an appointment to meet with Miss Roblaine, who is a sparrow who's happy to meet with you. And she says, "Well, yes, I'm here as the vice president in charge of overseeing operations here that go through all of the moon from the Martian metals. I assure you that our books are above board that we've submitted to the last audit, and I'm happy to cooperate with you in any way into your investigation. She would smile with a beak. It's difficult because she's a bird.
Oh, well, wonderful. We got a whole roster of people here. What about this one, Dr. Rickman?
Well, allow me to use my atomic filofax to look this up. Dr.
Rolodex.
Rickman, I understand that, yes, I've, it says here in his file that he's been disciplined multiple times. I hope there's, but he still has his security clearance. So, but other than that, there's really nothing in the file that says anything about him. I believe he works over in the information retrieval and payroll department.
Oh, excellent then. If he's got work hours right now, let's go meet with him.
What is a doctor working in the working in this paperwork division for? I mean, like I love paperwork, but
well, you'd have to talk to his supervisor directly. I'm the vice presidency, high ranking, but I met with you because there's like 5 of you. There's nothing in his file, she says, looking over in the Memex microfiche device that's in front of her. Just that he's had some trouble getting along. There's some things in his last employee evaluations that says he could improve his relations and more timeliness. Shrug. We don't really pry into the personal affairs of our employees.
It does sound, though, that no one really kind of minds all of his activity, though.
But yes, you find him, plus also these people who work with analytical engines. They have a fondness for electronic games and popular culture and don't really mingle that well with,
electronic games. Those will never catch on.
They're not, I mean, really, they cultivate a propensity for violence and unrealistic expectation. Terrible, terrible stuff. People should stick with healthy diversions, such as, magazines. I read Collier's every week. But here, I'll go ahead and give all of you these laminate passes so you can go ahead and investigate. But that's the obvious. I'd love to stay and help you, but I already have some other meetings that are going on. We need to discuss our next shipment, of business type things. But you can call my secretary, and I'm happy to give you any more information.
Wonderful. Well, we'll look forward to it then.
Thank you.
Okay, so the plan is: are all of you going to Rickman's office?
What not? We'll just kind of stand around his desk menacingly.
I mean, you could split your team up. You are in charge of your own team.
This is true.
Where would we go though? Raf, can you? Okay, I will ask you to just briefly lay out. There was Dr. Rickman and there was another person who was involved in doing Venusian stuff with.
That was
Night on Gas.
Yeah, it was Dr. Boyer.
Yeah. So what is the can you repeat Dr. connection to our investigation? Because I am extremely
Dr. Boyer is the lead. While almost anyone could possibly, analytic engines that you're looking for at this level. This is your first contact because of this, but the null energy chamber. Dr. Boyer is one of the published a paper that described very similar to what Hasselhoff said would be required for their engine. You did cross-referencing. You said, well, okay, here's my Hasselhoff notes here. It says we would need this kind of null energy chamber to do total conversion. You then cross-indexed that. Okay, who published a paper on that? Well, here's Boyer, who published a paper that almost exactly describes in theory, what this would actually have to be, and they work on Venus.
And Dr. Rickman?
Dr. Rickman came up because Dr. Rickman, in his doctorate, published some analytic engine stuffs, but he just kind of rubbed you the wrong way because of all these other flags in his file of like gambling addiction and some other disreputable stuff. There's just something about him that just sets off your bureaucracy. I mean, you have a list of some other people too, but this guy, he's also on the moon. You could, get rid of this pretty quickly.
Okay, and then head out to Venus.
Also, the moon is notorious for its, location of lasciviousness and crime. I mean, look at it.
The lunatics, yes. Okay, well, unless somebody else has any better suggestions, I'm going to suggest we just all go to his office, unless any of you feel that there is a different kind of field thing we should be doing simultaneously. Perhaps finding out where secret gambling rings are.
I did suggest maybe Ralph could split off and start trying to prod the criminal underworld, as it were. But
Ralph might be able to find some of the underground. You might be able to do some crime syndicates because Ralph actually has the streetwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mwah.
So
right.
You could.
I want to do that. Yeah.
And also Ralph used to work in safe cracking, so getting past high level security, like on mines, especially airlocks and that sort of thing. Ralph was mostly in the supply side of smuggling, like he would go steal something and give it to someone else and they would smuggle it. But the moon is a lot of smuggling operations. So that's why, Ralph could fit in. So you could do Team Crime, which is Ralph. And you could do Team Company, which is Captain Proteus. And you could either assign people to other teams or do something I hadn't thought of.
Well, who wants to be on Team Crime? I think you need a bruiser at least. So
Lancer, I think, does pretty good on Team Crime.
Right on.
I'll follow Ralph or Summers.
Yeah, because we've done Lancer and Summers before. Right?
I think we have, yes.
Hear that,
Don't tell
Lancer?
anybody-
You're the tough bruiser of the group now. Congratulations.
Well, and also Lancer and Summers have the lowest profile of anyone in the group because Boris is this huge hulking bird of destruction. And Corvus is a Martian robot.
I can
that
be
glows
subtle
in
with
the
my
dark.
ones.
Yeah, I mean,
just
we're
fit
both
right in.
giants, technically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You totally are.
So you have tiny little Captain Proteus, and next to him is giant bear on one side, and this giant robot with atomic weapons on the other.
Persuasion and enlightenment to my left and my right. Yeah. Just don't call yourself Team Crime. If anybody asks, or if
Team Legitimate Business.
Team Legitimate Business. If anybody asks, you are assisting the Moon Police in their investigations, trying to narrow down the location of these nefarious gambling dens.
Team Undercover.
Team Undercover. So Team Undercover would roll mind and questioning to go ahead and ask around. And they would also get a D12 bonus from Streetwise, and you get a bonus if you had local knowledge of the moon. Do you have anything else that might aid in finding an underground crime syndicate? Like, I doubt any of you actually have gambling because none of you are
Observation?
No, observation would be seeing stuff. It's quest. This is like not out in the open. This is crime.
Then no, I have nothing.
Okay, well, that'd be mind, questioning, and Streetwise. I believe Ralph is your lead, but Lancer can assist if they want to. I forget if Lancer's a team player or not.
I am a team player, but
You're a team player. Your assist bonus is D12 and not D8.
I will roll my questioning.
Okay. While you're rolling that, there's going to be no...
One success.
Then you get a bonus D12. If you're a team player, it doesn't hurt to try. Meanwhile, team company, I'm not going to make you guys roll. You have laminates. You go to the offices. The computers, naturally, these are 1930s computers. So they are giant analytical machines that are fed by electricity. And they have to be kept cold because the vacuum tubes will overheat.
I'll be both impressed by these and also sad because they may indicate one of two possibilities. One being a future world that is more documented, more regimented, and more, more paperwork than ever, or they might represent the obsolescence of people like me.
Well, Captain, it can produce, 12,000 more computations per hour than any human mind could ever.
But then what will the flesh minds do?
I don't know. Recline.
Don't worry,
Like-
Captain Proteus.
I know
No one
this.
will
Ugh.
ever replace your rubber stamp.
All right, I will. I have it on the holster on my other hip, opposite
Okay.
my pistol.
So so you will go down, and also like I'm flashing back to someone had like those pictures of those IBM room-sized computers, and they were saying like, you guys may have nostalgia for this, but this is really just the payroll.